Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Southron Bannermen. I am your host Joe, and this week I am joined by regular host Ryan Wood.
Hello.
Ben Davey.
Hello guys.
And some other guys joined us. I think he's called Darren Hazelden. You might know him off A Got a Second Edition.
Hello.
He'd be the one arguing that you're wrong.
I'm the nice, lovely, friendly guy.
So Darren, tell us a bit about yourself, seeing as you're new here.
Well, I'm Darren. I never played first edition, and it's dead, which is a good thing. I'm going to enamor myself.
Stabbing me straight in the heart.
Enamor myself to viewers straight away, right? I played L5R for the better part of a decade, so now I'm playing Thrones, and it's a great game. And most people probably have seen me posting if they're on the Facebook group or Card Game DB. Generally being more antagonistic than than I think a lot of people are happy about, but yeah.
You're an angry bunny.
I will preface anything by pointing out that everyone who's met me says I'm much nicer in real life.
Yeah, but
I'm just a keyboard warrior.
It's very much I thought he was a dick, but he's actually alright.
I was also say Darren was also Ryan's semi-final opponent at Nationals.
Oh yeah, I did like good in one tournament, but the only tournament I did good in was the only one that mattered. So,
well, if you're going to do well in one tournament, you might as well be Nationals.
Yeah, I might.
Could have done well in UKTC, couldn't you? Well, we'll talk about that later.
Well, we could go there if you want, Joe.
Right, so yeah, this week, what are we talking about, Ben? Since you always drop it on me usually.
This week we are going to quickly talk about the store champ kits, which have been a bit Marmite-ish, shall we say. Then we're going to have a quick look at the new spoilers for the 4th chapter pack before we talk about the UK Team Championship, which the lovely Joe and Darren went to. Myself and Ryan didn't, because Ryan was on Mars, and I was getting very drunk in Twickenham watching rugby.
Fair enough.
So, store champ kits, guys, finally being revealed, and then about 2 days later got delayed.
That was terrific. The Trident's screwed.
Yeah, and the Trident's also been delayed. But what do we think of the kit? Because if I'm probably leading here, I think it's a really good kit.
I am pleasantly surprised, given the way the prize support has been. Like, since the last store champ kit, like, they've basically been pulling stuff out of the kits. We've had less, and the Nationals kit was shit. The regional kit, pretty good, I thought. Yeah, this is a good step up, I think.
I think basically, you look at it compared to the last All Champ kit, the card's better, because who needs 12 copies of the Eerie? The Sirio, and it's quite a nice Sirio, I think. The deck boxes are kind of cool. Don't really need them anymore, but they're cool. The playmat, though, I love the art. I'm not sure about the character choice.
Yeah, the character choice is strange, seeing as obviously we haven't seen him. At least it's not a promo that we can't use, but it kind of gives us a bit of a clue that this guy's going to be coming out in the next pack or two.
I don't know who this guy is, by the way.
He's one of the Rainbow Guard, so he'd likely be a Tyrell card.
He's briefly in the TV show, apparently. I found out on Wikipedia. He's one of the people who Bren kills when after what's his chops the night the king gets killed by the shadow thing.
Brenly.
That's the one. Thank you. Sorry guys, I'm very tired. But yeah, but in the book she doesn't kill him. He's convinced she didn't kill Renly, and he actually helps her escape, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah, Loris later kills him instead.
Okay, but he dies either way. But what was he like in first edition, Ryan?
So there was a card for him right towards the end, I think in the very last cycle.
Yeah, it was Rainbow Guard in the last cycle, wasn't it?
Yeah, all the Baratheon cards were Rainbow Guard in the last cycle. He was probably one of the worst ones. So he was a 3-for-3 miniature in power, House Arryn, Rainbow Guard, and Knight. While he was in a challenge, all of your Rainbow Guards gained Deadly, which is a keyword that's not in second edition, but it's basically the throwing axe that Greyjoy have. That sort of ability as a keyword.
Sounds like an awful game.
So probably we're going to see him in the 6th pack, do you reckon, then?
it would be really odd for them to include like one of the Rainbow Guard. Like, if they were going to do the whole lot, you'd expect them to be throughout this cycle, right?
Has Brian got the Rainbow Guard trait?
No, I don't think so.
Doesn't the... Oh, no, that's... I was
It's just
thinking
not
of,
Lady, I think.
I swear there's another Rainbow Guard.
Well, there's Loris, but again, obviously,
Yeah.
doesn't have
But
the
I
trait.
swear there's actually one with the trait.
Was there one spoiled in the for the Lions box or something?
I think that might be it.
No, the Lions box is Alarie Tyrell and the Golden Rose event.
What am I thinking of then?
Because what I think would happen is they'd wait for the Tyrell Deluxe for the Rainbow Guard, so you get the whole set in one go.
Maybe this is a very bad spoiler then.
We're not going to see it for about 3 years.
Who knows when he's going to show up? The Eerie took months to come out from when the kit was announced.
It's not like anyone was raring for that to hurry up and be legal, though, was it? So.
Yeah, at least you don't know what this guy does in a way, so it's not going to sort of tease us.
Of course, the best thing about the area was the normal cards better than the old art.
Yeah. So yeah, the boxes are quite nice. We have tokens now as well, which is an addition to all of the kits. So we have more prizes than usual.
Oh, for top 2.
Yeah.
It's the Tears of List token, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice
I think
addition.
it's going to be nice to be able to show up and top four a 4-man store championship and get more prizes than top 4 in nationals. So.
The only thing I'm not sure about though is the plaque with the guy on the front.
I like them. I think it's a nice cross between, because I remember the one before second edition was the Tyrion one, wasn't it?
The really ugly Tyrion one.
Yeah, I think it's a nice cross between the sort of having it look a bit more like a trophy and having some art on it, so it's not completely bland.
Yeah, I'd agree on that. It's the best combination of the previous 2 years.
I just don't sure if the art then works on it, because it's, I don't know. They've done the same with Netrunner and I would say Conquest, but obviously, yeah. And the Netrunner one I think looks slightly better, so it might just be the art. I'm not sure. I love the art on the mat. I might just not quite be sure on the plaque, but then we might see it in the flesh and think quite different.
I think maybe if that background, instead of being like cream or white or whatever it is, if that was black like the last season's store championships with the art stuck over the top, it might look a bit better.
Yeah, especially with the font being white on top of the beige background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's a completely different material. It's like some sort of plastic rather than metal.
That's it. When we finally get them, which by looks it's going to be the end of November now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll know from looking at the flesh. I will say the store champ that I'm going to on the 12th is still going ahead. Let's get the prizes later.
Fair enough. I was considering coming to that now. So might still come.
I know Northampton are going to be running theirs the same weekend as well, but I think most of the others look like they're just delaying till they get the kit. So
yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah, I would go. I considered Northampton event as well, but the problem is it's their grand championship, and I've only got 10 points, so I'm not really going to win that.
Yeah, I'm on something like 18 points. Bamford went to like 2 out of 5 and was sat at the top of the leaderboard. So
cool. Okay. Should we go on to Here's My Claim spoilers? That's the name of the pack, isn't it?
There is my claim.
Same difference. Close enough.
But one's here and one's there.
Yeah. Exactly. My claim's here and your claim's over there where I am. We're not going to spend too much time on this, but we thought we'd take a card each and just talk about what kind of why we think it's cool. It might not even be a good card. We just think it's something that's cool.
So I'm clear. Whereabouts was it where they got spoiled? Is it like a shop in Budapest, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Tamas Albeck's local store seems to have the pack and the lion box already.
And the lion box. Bloody.
Yeah.
It's very much proving that fact that there are just some copies just sitting in warehouses in some countries until everyone gets them.
Damn, that's annoying. I really want that lion box. I want my Victorian.
Oh, thank you.
I would very much like him. But I would now like it to wait until after Stalek.
Wait, you don't want Valor?
I don't fancy dealing with Valor for it. I'd rather deal with it for store champs.
That's fair enough.
I don't want to travel and then God knows how much then have my board get Valor every game.
you should just learn to play like first edition players faster.
Just play Greyjoy. just all the saves. You'll be fine.
I do like my Iron Mines, but I'll clearly never draw them.
I think your Barra Kraken will be fine.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of lords and ladies, so you throw in bodyguards, throw in you've still got Iron Mines anyway. You're done.
You got Sabari, and isn't Damp Hair in the new pack as well?
Yes.
Yeah, if Damp Hair would be great, but I'm a little disenchanted with the Barra Kraken now because I played it too much and he didn't do well at UKTC. Spoiler.
I don't think the deck's the problem.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. How comes you couldn't win with the national winning deck?
I mean, I did win more games than you.
Okay, guys. Before we get to the team championship thing, I'm going to make some popcorn, and I'm just going to sit back and listen. Okay.
You can tell what the problem was with the team championship. We both hate each other.
But all the best teams hate each other, I thought. Anyway,
that's how Banter won.
That's true.
So, who wants to take the first card then?
I think that should be Darren, seeing as he is the guest.
No,
I can't remember which card I was going to do.
the Lanny one.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. We have it's Tanda Stokeworth, a unique Lannister character. She costs 3. She has only a power icon. She's 3 strength, and she's a lady. And she has a reaction. After you marshal Tanda Stokeworth, each player gains 3 gold. So, a lot of people don't like her. I think the fact that she's a free character maybe should make people just give her a chance before they just relegate her to their binder forever. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just, she's assuming you have 3 gold for the turn. She's just a free drop out of your hand, which is not the worst, especially if you're going second.
You see, I think she's going to be really good when you got that new Lanny hand destruction deck, which is one of the themes for the Lanny box. Because then you don't care if you give them 3 gold, they've only got 2 cards to play anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, and it's another power icon for Lanny. That's the icon they're lacking the most, right? And even in jumper decks it helps. It's not after she enters play, it's just after you marshal her, so you can jump her in if you need to.
Yeah.
Kill her off with Harrenhal.
She's good one-off for that in that jumpers deck.
It's a shame she's not loyal. I'd like to play her for 2 gold and gain 3 gold back, but
for all those Lanny filthy decks.
they're coming back, I'm telling you.
I'm not convinced, only just because I don't like the fact that you need to have been the second player, or you're potentially just giving your opponent 3 gold. I know it does still work out as a free character, but I wouldn't want to do that. It's always the risk with trading.
I mean, trading is a bad card. I mean, I think I reiterated that earlier as well, which Joe from Cincinnati disagreed with. But I mean, she's offering you pies, which is a benefit in general.
And wild boar. Don't forget the wild boar.
Yeah. So she doesn't cost you anything. She brings food to the party. I don't know what more you want.
We're not going to talk about the savoury cream stews.
No. Yeah. Well. And also, I mean, she's clearly old, but I think back in her day she was probably a bit of a looker as well. So.
Okay. You see, I quite like the idea of your opponent playing trading and then you giving them 3 gold back as a nice gift. You know, everyone's friendly thrones. Oh, thanks for that. Here, have some back.
If it specifically used the 3 gold they gave you to do it, so here you go.
You do that and then remember to gain your income, just so your opponent's clear which gold spent on her.
I'm just looking at Tanda Stokeworth's profile on the Wiki of Ice and Fire. And the opening line is, Tanda is not considered a particularly clever or attractive woman. That is it. That's her characteristics.
God, there's a picture and another Wikipedia, and I want it as a house card, or I'll have to put a link somewhere in it. But...
Okay, Joe, which card have you picked?
So I have picked Vastaloro. if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a Targaryen location, 1 gold, non-loyal, and it has the text interrupt. When a character with 1 or more power is killed, kneel Vastaloro to move 1 power from that character to Vastaloro, up to 2 power instead if that character's strength is 0. Now, I think this is a pretty solid card. It's got to be I think it's going to be a one-of in every Targ deck. It's going to handle Valor a bit if for some reason you lost Khal Drogo or Dany with some power on, and you get to at least save 2 of it, and alternatively, it makes your burn just that much stronger. You can steal some power out of it. I don't see a real downside to having one of them in your deck.
I think if you've got the new Velocit Viserys, you get some power on him because he gains 1 power a turn, and then you play you play the event
Blood of the Dragon.
Blood of the Dragon to kill him. Could be good quick power gain from that.
But you already had the power, so you're not really gaining any power.
You gain 1 power. You gain 1 power.
No, because the power was already on him.
I thought you gained an extra power if.
No, it's just moving power. It's like, say someone dies.
Yeah, it's
with 4 power on them. You're keeping 1 power back.
Yeah. Why'd you play this card? Jay, why do you like this? Why do you like this card?
Because if you kill your opponent's character, you can take 2 power from that. In Valor, you're at least saving 1 power, like a power. If something does go wrong, you can at least maybe save a power. What's wrong with that? Why would you not just want 1 of them?
How many renowned characters does Dracarys actually hit? Because I've just been thinking about it, and I'm not convinced it's that.
Theon.
Sir Jaime and the Knight of Flowers if Dany's out.
Yep, can kill Theon. If he's not technically renowned, but he would have power on him.
Victarion when he's out. Again, if Dany's out. Knight of Summer.
Technically could hit Balon. Are we saying straight away? Or?
I'm assuming you're assuming you got Dany out because that's a very quick and common way of reducing the strength. How many others are there?
I mean, if you're running sort of five or so kill events, and then a few other things, especially stuff like Valor, I'd definitely run it because you get to you just steal any renown when things die.
Blackfish as well, that's a big one. And Robb Stark. There's quite a few actually.
Yeah, but you're predicating on having Dany out for all of those. So.
Most target decks too.
I'm less convinced that many. I know there are still decks running her, but there's plenty of decks that are not running her and just running the dragons for Dracarys.
And those decks are wrong.
It's true.
I can't comment on Targ. I don't know it well enough. I'll tell everyone else they're wrong about most other factions. I just can't on Targ.
Fair enough. Ryan, do you want to do the card that's broken the internet?
Broken the internet? I'm not going to go that far. So this would be a Night's Watch character, the Shadow Tower Mason. So he's 2 cost, non-loyal, 2 strength, power icon, and his text is, let me find it. Remembered all that off the top of my head. There he is. He's a builder. No attachments except weapon. While you control 3 or more Night's Watch locations and or attachments, Shadow Tower Mason gains a military and an intrigue icon. So he's effectively a 2 cost, 2 strength Tricon, because when is that not going to be a thing? You're always going to have 3 or more Night's Watch locations or attachments.
You see, when I first read this, I read 3 Night's Watch locations and went, okay, that's all right. It's going to be pretty hard. So then I read or attachments. Okay, yeah, this card's bloody good.
Every Night's Watch deck is running like 3 Craven and 3 Practice Blade, 3 Wolf, 3 Castle Black, White Tree, Shadow Tower. It's going to be so easy to be active.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be immediately active as much as people think.
Not immediately, but probably.
Probably in turn 1 it won't be, but turn 2 it might very well be.
You play Counting Coppers, you're probably going to have at least 1 attachment or probably 2 attachments, and then 1 of the locations out.
I'm not convinced. I'm not saying it's a bad card because it is, but I don't think it's going to be turned on as amazingly often as people think. And it still bounces to First Snow, which is still the same Night's Watch problem.
I didn't read it and go, "This is broken." I say it's very solid but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
No, it's not. It's just the reliability that it's offering Night's Watch, right? To always have all 3 icons. It's getting a bit silly because like the defense deck can very easily be NPE. So FFG have had to sort of balance it really well, but they haven't at all though, because first cycle they got like no good cards, and then this cycle they've been like, let's give them all the good cards. Like there hasn't been a bad Night's Watch card this cycle.
I think there has.
I'm trying to think of one now.
I'm desperately going to Thrones DB now to prove you wrong.
The Lions cards are shit.
That's not this cycle though.
Technicalities.
What do they have? Ari Whitetree, Dolores Ed Craven.
Is that the rule?
Yeah, Craven's awful.
I don't think Night Gathers is particularly good.
Night Gathers doesn't play in the defense deck way.
No.
It's pretty great in the other Night's Watch builds I'm playing.
Did I tell you I had my Robert Baratheon stolen by it the other day?
But if you listen to some people like Aaron Glazer, who says this is the card that puts Night's Watch into that top tier and gone.
I think they're already there.
I don't think of all the cards that's going to push them or going to push them or has already pushed them there. I don't think this is it.
No,
I think it's just a solid card that adds to a good core of solid cards.
Core and half hands when I think they become tier 1. I think they're teetering on the edge, and it is very much player dependent rather than stuff where anyone who's capable can play it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
The only thing I've been thinking with these cards is I wish it changed the text ever so slightly to say the word Night's Watch location or weapon rather than attachment. This would be a lot wordier. But just because the fact that you can just with Hoarder, the first thing I noticed when Craven was released, it was like, great, so I can nil another attachment that has no benefit from standing and get a strength boost. So now it's got 2 immediate uses.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that Craven can trigger this as well. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It gives your opponent more incentive to not just leave that boring character standing when he marches or whatever. Like once you stuck Craven on as a defense deck, it doesn't matter how good the character is. They're not coming into any more challenges, so there's no point in them having them. I still see people saving them to Wildfire and stuff.
Anything else on this card?
It's got no attachments as a set weapon, like all Night's Watch cards.
Yeah.
Can I say I'm getting very close to being free fishing nets back in my Grey Druid deck.
You can't attach it to him though, so
it's a weapon.
fine. Is it a weapon?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it's the weird like
You equip your opponent's characters so they can't defend.
Exactly. It's so it works with Raiders from Pike.
it has like 3 traits, doesn't it? Condition, item, and weapon.
Yeah. How is it a condition? I get the other 2, but like a condition. I've been afflicted by fishing nets.
Maybe it makes you a fish.
I guess the point is you threw the fishing net on them, so their condition is like they're pinned in place, but that's stupid anyway, because they can still attack, and they now have a weapon.
Okay, should I do my one?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, let's skip that one.
No one likes that card anyway.
Well, I picked Tyrell Location. We've got it's a 2 cost, unique. Caswell's Keep has the reach trait and reaction. After you roll a plot, choose a player. Look at the top 2 cards of that player's deck. Place 1 card at the bottom and the other on top. This card is really good.
It's interesting.
Well, you either filter your own hand or especially if you destroy their hand, or you've done like Ryan's Varys Tyrell deck and you've wiped their board. Let's look at your top 2 cards. Oh, one of them's a character. Well, that's now going to the bottom.
Yeah, no, I really like it, and it's interesting. I think both the Tyrell cards that have been spoiled are quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think 2 gold for a location that doesn't affect board in any way at all, or any way other than like it's a subtle way, but it filters your deck. It doesn't draw your card. It doesn't affect the current board state. It's still 2 gold, so I don't think. I think it's good, but I don't think it's more than a one-of if you're going to include it.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a one-of, but Tyrell has the money to pay for expensive locations, which are nice to have.
What I did notice,
reach.
Yes.
yeah. Also, it doesn't kneel, and it's not limited, so if you're playing Reigns of Castamere or any future ways to reveal multiple plots a turn, you can trigger it multiple times a turn.
Yeah, you'd have to be playing Reigns of Castamere, wouldn't you? Because it says after you reveal it. But...
Yeah, so it works really well on Tyrell Reigns, which is going to be a good deck.
Yeah, because you've got the Lannis Informants to get the second intrigue off if you want.
Mm-hmm.
It would be if Reigns wasn't going to be a bad card, but... Genuinely, some things I've said before just to get a reaction. People may have noticed, but I do not think Reigns is going to be as good as people think it's going to be.
Well, you heard it here first.
I don't say it's easy. You can shut it down quite easily. It's telegraphed. You see it coming. You lose a lot of good stuff from your actual plot deck, so nothing's on demand anymore. I don't see it doing as good as people think it's going to do.
When you say nothing's on demand, you mean apart from the 5 plots you get on demand during the challenge phase?
Well, they're not on demand though, because you can't guarantee having them. If you face another Reigns deck, there's a good chance that neither of you are ever going to get it, and then you've got no wildfire for the game.
That's alright, you're both equal pegging then.
If you draw exactly equally with your opponents on all your games, I want to draw like you, because I always draw horrendously, so...
Cool. Okay. Well, it's definitely interesting if nothing else. And I had missed that it can work whenever a plot's revealed, like say with Reigns. That's given me some ideas.
I do like it. Don't get me wrong, I like the card.
It's a one-off, but we're getting to the point now. There's so many locations that you just go, yeah, it's a one-off because what am I dropping for it?
Yeah.
We're going to end up building first edition decks.
Exactly. One of each unique card.
Sad face.
The worst days are coming.
I just noticed King Renly's host is also unique.
Like King Rob's host is.
Yeah. I assume there's going to be quite a few hosts within the next cycle.
It's not as fun as King Rob's host.
Oh, Intimidate's quite good.
Yeah, what does King Rob's host do?
Still lots of power.
Extra 2 power claim?
Yeah, I'd rather have Intimidate than that.
And enter my hand after I've played all my money plots, generally. But...
King Renly's host not loyal. Only just noticed that. That's interesting.
In all fairness, they're mostly Baratheons in a Tyrell deck.
True.
So, you guys, UK Team Championship. What was it? What was it? What happened? And how did you guys bicker during the day?
I don't think we actually really I don't think we bickered. I thought as a team we did well. We had our ups, we had our downs. It's the UK scene, so everyone is lovely to everyone else. So there's no one's going to feel bad about losing games. No one,
Yeah. So it was the UK Team Championship last weekend. It was run by the guys at Guardians of Tyr. I'm not sure if that's the shop name, but it's the Northampton store guys.
The shop name's War Games Workshop, I think. It's Milton Keynes and Northampton.
Yeah, so the Game of Thrones event was run by Daniel Mulcrone, and there was also an X-Wing and a Conquest event. It was in Milton Keynes at the Jury's Inn Hotel, and it was a pretty good day all round. It was an interesting event. I'd never done a team event before, so went in not really knowing what to expect. Our team was me, Darren, and we had James Harrison from the Bristol Regionals and Nationals as our third member. We were a very ragtag team.
I think we were we're the team of like second edition only players who've done pretty good in second edition tournaments, but not really. James won Bristol Regional, which was good. I think otherwise we're sort of floating on the fringes still.
Yeah, obviously a lot of the London players are second ed only, which I keep forgetting. But yeah, I think we were some of the ones who go to a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, I don't reckon every time I see London players, there's some that I recognise now, and there's a lot that I don't think they go out of London that often. If there are some that do, and then there's also some that mention they know they know my name because they already played me, and I didn't know they existed, and I feel really bad about it.
The rules were, I think, which is standard team rules, that you could only have one of each main faction and any combination of agendas. So James was pretty much set on playing his Martel Rose, which is everyone knows about. I went with my Barra Kraken because I was feeling pretty confident after UK Nationals and been playing it quite a bit and liked some of the new cards. And Darren...
I wanted to take Martel Kraken, but I couldn't take Martel because James had Martel, and I was very sad about that. So I was playing Night's Watch till the week before. I was set on my Night's Watch deck till like the week before the tournament, and then something. I think it was because we were going to have a few holes in our matchups, or be a bit easier counterpicked when we pick matchups. So I thought I'll just get something solid. So I took Ryan's Stark 48 character deck.
And how did you find that? Is it?
Well, testing was great. I'm pretty sure throughout testing I was questioning why everyone wasn't just playing this deck, and this deck is stupid, and how does there's no way to lose with that deck. That's how testing went. It's not quite how the tournament went.
Yeah, it was a very strong field on the day. Like personally, I played against all four people. I knew quite a few people, but I'd never actually played against anyone in a competitive environment in my matchups. So our team comp was Barra Kraken, Stark Filthy, and Martel Rose. We had 4 rounds, and it was a top 4 cut. And I think there was 16 teams in the end, which was more than was expected. So it was a pretty good turnout.
That's a lot.
It's not bad because it's something like it's 48 players total.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
that's better than most regionals.
And you have to you can't just show up by yourself either. You need 2 other people with you to be able to do it.
So round 1. We were against #Denise. Oh yeah, just so you know, it's our team name was Crows Before Hose because I came up with 3-headed dragon and I was told that's too serious. So we changed it to that. So yeah, first round was #Denise, which was Josh Chambers' team. I can't remember the name of his 2 teammates. Do you know, Darren?
I played one of them.
Do you know his name?
No. I know what he played. No, I'm sorry, Josh's friend.
Yeah.
He was from the north, though. So I probably couldn't understand his name when he said it anyway.
Sorry. Give me 1 sec. I'm just going to grab my notebook, then I can actually say what matchups are.
Oh yeah, we wrote down. I know I was against, or I'm pretty sure that was around. I was against Martel Stag, which is what I was playing for several matches, for a few months. I think like 3 months or so, up to and including Blackwater. So I was happy with that match. I don't know what the rest of us had.
So you said about Martel Stag, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. James was against Night's Watch Kraken. And I played against Josh's Stark Rose, which I'd heard a little bit about from Darren beforehand, but I did not know what was coming. It was a very scary deck.
It was the best deck at the tournament.
What makes it so scary?
So it's basically a full spanner Stark, and it was like loads of 2-plane plots. So he opened with Sneak Attack, used Winter is Coming, like cleared my board down a bit. Then he did another Winter is Coming next turn with Famine. Then he did another, I think, 3rd Winter is Coming with Winds of Winter or something. Then I was like, there's no more stuff. I'd been holding that pretty well at this point. Like, I kept drawing into Dupes and Iron Mines, thankfully. And I had Robert Asher. I think I eventually got Mel on the last turn. I was sort of keeping the board going. He didn't have much in terms of big characters. Then I was pretty confident I was going to win. Then I think 5th turn, he does another military challenge. Then starts throwing his hand down on the board. I'm like, oh, he's conceded. Then he plays Dare as my claim. I'm like, what's happening? Then there's another 2 claim.
Yeah, his deck was all about trying to get to 4 claim with both Winter is Coming and There Is My Claim.
Oh, bloody hell, that's genius.
I got quite lucky. Like the
It's-
fact that I kept drawing into dupes and Iron Mines, but it was scary. Every turn there was always 2 claim.
Oh, that's... Yeah, I can actually see that. That's actually not a bad idea.
But yeah, basically it was false. It was like false Stark, wasn't it, or false Banner? However you say.
Yeah, but-
You only had Winter is Coming and 1 copy of Sansa.
Just 4 start cards.
I think so.
He
Like
had,
that.
he had like 8 start cards. He had something else in there as well. But yeah, basically it was just all Tyrell cards.
I love it.
It does sound amazing, but they did get the wooden spoon.
Yeah, after I spoke to like Whammer afterwards, or just people while we were there, and they were going like, "Oh, Josh loves that deck." He would tell us much about it. It was going like, "Oh, I did this amazing play, then I lost."
Right.
Yeah, it was a fun but scary deck to play against, and that was the first time I played against Josh Chambers.
So I guess what the idea is just to keep their board so small, it doesn't matter that you're not playing any big characters out.
I have no idea if there were big characters in there. He had left and right at turn 2, I think, which would have been a pain in my ass.
I think his whole point was, I just want to play these 2 events and get to 4 claim. But I think the rest of it was just built around that idea.
Ice is Stark character only, isn't it? That's a shame. Oh, cool. And
Yeah, so my round 1 was, like I say, I can't remember his name, but it was Martel Stag, which, like I said, I've played again, or I played as for ages. So it wasn't particularly difficult with Ryan's deck, because we both dropped a couple of characters a turn, and I was consistently about 5 to 10 strength above him after marshalling, so if he made me go first, I just pass. If he can't win Dom, he can't Chamber the Painted Table, and he couldn't attack me because he wasn't big enough, and if he did, I'd get loads of renown. So I think I spent 4 or 5 turns just passing challenges and getting like 1 or 2 power a turn, and then we had a bit of a swing, and then I tried to push for more power to get a full win, but I didn't. It just went on too long. But yeah, it's just, I think it's only because I knew how the deck worked, because I've been playing it before. Otherwise, I'd have been pushing aggressively and probably losing most of my power to Dom. So
Fair. So yeah, James won his matchup against the Night's Watch Kraken, so we went 3-0 on that one, which was pretty good round 1. So, because I didn't bring it up as well, so with the matchups, you flip a coin at the start, then whoever wins the coin toss can choose to go first or second. Team going first gets to pick the first matchup, so you know all of the agendas and house cards. So you pick what match you want, then the second player picks, then the last one gets it. So in that one, I picked to go against Josh, then they made us first. So I picked a matchup against Stark Rose. So, because I thought I'd clarify that, because the next round we completely screwed up our picks. So we were against, I think they were the Golden Company. It was basically a London team, but they were all from Reading and Paris.
A London team all from Reading. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was because they
George
made loads
Anker's
of them. Yes, so
Okay.
they were under the Cross Keys banner, but it was Joel Pearson, George Ankers, and Vince T.
That's not a bad team.
And they were playing. Yeah, that was a pretty solid thing. Playing Night's Watch Lion, Greyjoy Winter, and Barafilty. So we won the toss on that one, and we chose to pick first. And for some reason, with a Stark deck on our choice, we chose to put Martel Rose versus Barafilty rather than Stark. We sat down after him and was like, why did we do that? So yeah, James was against Joel with Barafilty. I got put against George's Night's Watch Lion, and Darren played Greyjoy Winter. So
I think we did that because I suggested it, but it's your fault for listening to me.
I think we'd come into it because James had said that he liked the Barra matchup, and I had said I hadn't quite a bit when we were sorting stuff out. So I think that was the main thing on our minds, rather than Stark's a good matchup for Barra, isn't it?
I think. Well, I remember being worried about like if you don't see Rob and a sacrifice outlet with that Stark deck, I think Barra's still probably quite a bad matchup because you just drop in one or two big uniques and they get knelt, and that's that. So I think in hindsight we probably should have still done it, but I think at the time it made sense to me.
Yeah, so do you want to say about your match?
Oh yeah, sure. So I was against Greyjoy Winter, which was Vince T, who I haven't played before, I don't think, but I probably have and will get told off for not remembering. And it was going really well. I was dropping, I think at turn 2 I was on like 11 or 12 power. I had Sirio out against Greyjoy Winter, so he wasn't stealthing past anything. I had Rob out, I had Fast Eddie out, I had someone else big out. Blackfish was online, sorry, I had Catelyn out. So by the end of turn 2 my board was like rolling in it. There was no way I could lose that game. I was basically just checking on the matches either side of me just to see how the rest of the team were doing. And then on turn 3 he sort of made me go first, and I dropped some more characters, didn't really care, and he dropped Varys. And and I have told people since before Blackwater, I think, that Varys is the most important card in the current meta, and everyone should be aware of it, and most people should probably be playing it. And the thought of him hadn't crossed my mind, and I lost my entire board and just never came back, basically. I think I was slowly clawing it back, but I didn't have the card draw because I didn't have Gates of Winterfell out, and I'd already just emptied my hand, so I just couldn't get presence back in the game and just sort of slowly lost.
Depressing.
Yeah, it was. It was quite sad because it was an easy win, and then he dropped Varys, and then I was very, very sad.
Yeah. Well, prepare for a similar story on my side. So, yeah, Night's Wish Lion. It's going like pretty well. Finished I was making sure he wasn't really getting the events off. I think I eventually got like most of my board out. I had Rob on few power, got Sell Me out, and I think I was on about 12 power. Then I think about turn 4, he makes me go first. I milk Tyrion, then he plays Varys, and I have my only thing with a dupe is Theon. So yeah,
at least you had a dupe. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, no, it didn't matter much.
No.
So yeah, I tried to push, but I couldn't get close. I was just a little bit off. So then Varys only has a second marched, so Theon gets marched. Then I just can't. I didn't really have any econ. I couldn't get my board back, and he had White Tree and some econ, so just kept taking my gold. And I just couldn't get my board back. So I lost in pretty much the same way. Very close to winning, and got it taken away from me by Varys.
Part of that might be my fault because I have an almost up to date, probably not quite up to date, but an almost up to date deck list of that deck George was playing. Because he sent it to me, and I totally forgot he had Varys. Otherwise,
I should have expected the Varys. But there's not much you can do sometimes. If the person goes second and you don't have Nightmares ready, then there's done and dusted. Really,
yeah.
It's just a pain.
I would have at least been able to warn you about it. Was the main thing.
Yeah.
And how did?
Yeah.
But James won his. Oh no, we got 03 that one. Didn't
yeah, we got sweep. James had a very drawn out match. I think it basically did like each person had 3 characters. Rob wasn't attacking because he had 3 dupes, and there was a Gaston out. And so it was It looked like I think he went to a mod win maybe for Joel, but yeah, we got sweeped. It wasn't very good. Damn you, Varys.
The fact that Varys did both of you is quite amusing.
Yeah. It was
I think it was basically at the same time as well, because I just went
pretty much.
I basically said something or other along the lines of, "Oh, what the fuck? There's a Varus there," and turned around to try and get some sympathy from Joe, who was looking at a Varus as well. So I didn't get any sympathy.
Right, yeah. So we were 1-1. To make the cut, you needed 3-1 basically. So we needed to win our next 2 games. So next up, we were against Richard, Rebecca, and Daisy, who were named "Kneel before your king, you shits." They had team T-shirts and everything. It was great.
The T-shirts were drawn by Rebecca, so it had the 3 of them on. They're actually they're really nice T-shirts, to be fair.
Yeah. So they were playing. Rebecca was Targ Crossing, Richard was Martel Fealty, and Daisy was Lanny Sun. So I think we got to pick first. I think we put James against the Lanny Sun, didn't we? Or did I put myself against Targ? No, we put James against Lanny Sun, didn't we?
Yeah, we were trying to get James away from the Targ matchup, so I think we put him on Lanny Sun because we were both sort of okay with. I expected them with the remaining ones to put Martel Fealty against you, and
apparently we heard Richard saying that he liked the Stark matchup, so we thought you'd put him against you. So it kind of went how we wanted it to.
Yeah.
So no pressure.
Yeah. So yeah, I played against Rebecca. It's the first time I played against her competitively, and I've played against her in a few casual games when she's been playing Target, and she always shits all over me. It's horrible when it happens.
She's the way she beats people. She's far too friendly and smiling for how much she brutalizes people. Shall I talk about my round 2 then while we wait?
Yes, a 3.
Huh? What?
You're round 3.
Oh, yeah, round 3. That's right. I can talk about my round 2 again if you want, but it'll be as depressing as it was before. So, yeah, I was against Richard Walker, who is a lovely guy. I'm not convinced he particularly. I'm still not sure whether he actually likes me or not, but he's a nice guy, and I wish he would like me. I know him and Rebecca are among the hordes of people who didn't really like me, at the very least until they met me. Probably still not even then, but. Yeah, anyway, Martel Fealty, which is supposed to be a free win for Stark, because Catelyn and Winterfell, both of which I had out turn 1 and or 2, basically stops all their real shenanigans. It didn't stop all his real shenanigans, because he was also... He had a lot of icon stripping out, and Ryan's deck doesn't run any form of attachment removal.
That's Church Raiders.
Maybe Rattle Shirts. Yeah, it runs Rattle Shirts.
3 copies of Rattle Shirts?
I didn't draw 3 copies of Rattle Shirts, so it runs none, as far as I'm concerned, in that match anyway. So it was a bit of a struggle. He had Nymeria and a couple of each of the attachments, I think, sort of spread across the sort of size board Ryan's deck tends to get to, which is too large to do maths with. And it was sort of a slow grind. I got ahead, and then neither of us really moved on power for a couple of turns. As basically time was coming, and I was ahead by a few power, and it was just a case of making sure I didn't lose too much power before time hit. There was no way either of us were going to win by time at the point that he gave like a 5-minute warning or something. So it was just a case of preserving as much power as I could and make sure I came ahead. Because I think James had already won that round. I think James won that round in like 2 or 3 turns. It felt fast anyway, like he stood up and was shaking hands and stuff really early. So I knew if I could just preserve to mod wing, because Joe was still playing at that point as well, that I'd be able to, that you know, we'd win and it wouldn't matter what Joe did. Which was good, because Joe lost. Just spoiler alert.
So yeah, I was against Rebecca, playing her Targ Crossing deck. Probably one of the toughest games I played all day and one of the most enjoyable, because I haven't got to play against Rebecca competitively, and usually she craps all over me when we do play. So I think she got her Blood Riders pretty early. Khal Drogo and Danny. I had Asher, Mel, Robert. Asher got Dracarys quite early because I kind of threw her in knowing it might happen, knowing I could close call her because I put that in my deck as of recently. It was quite back and forth. She was getting a lot of her challenges off. I was getting a lot of power and kneeling stuff out. Miri appeared and didn't get anything off because I kept kneeling her every turn. And it came down right to the wire. I think we got to time. I can't remember if it was or not. I think it was going to be a mod win to her on about 14 to 13 power, but I, because it made no difference at that point, I killed one of my characters to military claim, so she got the last one. So she got the 5 points rather than the 4. Because as Darren and James had already won at this point, so it did not matter personally how I did.
The important thing is you lost.
But yeah, it was a very tough game. Rebecca is a very good player.
That she be.
I won't argue. Last time I played her was in was it Bristol? Some Bristol GNK, I think it was, and mostly I just sat there laughing about how much I was getting ruined. So
yeah, like I would probably say she's potentially one of the most improved player because I think she didn't have a card game background when she started. I think she was fairly new when she was at Portsmouth when I first met her. I'm not sure if anyone else can
possibly. Definitely the first time I played her in Northampton, she wasn't bad anyway, but she was still. She seemed fresher to the game.
I mean, anyone who got the Boy King deck to work can't be that bad.
That was a silly deck.
It really is.
It ruined my day, but it was still silly.
So, fourth round, which I'm guessing was the last round?
Yep, so we were 2-1. We needed to win this to make the cut. We got placed against Whammer's team, which was Growing Schlong. So it was him, Keb, and it was Rowan, I think.
Yeah, Rowan.
They were playing. Keb was playing Barra Wolf. Rowan was playing Targ Winter, and James was surprisingly not playing Tyrell. He was playing Lanny Winter.
Because he's dirty. It wasn't an interesting deck. It was a dirty deck.
Yeah, as he told us, it was like when he's on his own, he can self-sabotage, but when he's in a team, he has to play something proper.
Well, so was this the I'm reducing your gold and I'm going to use my treacheries to stop your economy type thing? Is it?
It's just
it was Leaping Lions. I think.
Leaping Lions, right?
One, but yeah. So we got to pick first. We put James against the Barra Wolf. I got put against the Lanny Winter, and Darren got put against the Targ Winter.
I think they picked first. Because I'm pretty sure, they put Rowan against me as their first thing.
Okay.
I'm like 60% sure.
Oh, I think you're right, actually.
Because I remember, because they put Rowan against me, and I was sat there thinking, well, all my characters are high strength, and I have Catelyn and Winterfell, so, Targ should be a pretty easy matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was against Whammer for the first time. I hadn't played against him before. Was feeling pretty confident as the game started. I got a pretty decent board early. I seen Inflamed. I never bet against my family to stop him getting anything out immediately. Slowed down his leaping thing, but he had quite a bit of gold and was building up. He had a Cersei doing a lot of work. Then we got to this turn where I think it was a 2-claim turn, and I had a Nightmares, and there was a Tyrion and the Cersei on the board, and he had about 5 gold, and I nightmares to Tyrion. Then as soon as I did it, I went, oh god, I know what's going to happen. And yeah, he just obliterated my board with a trial by combat and some military claim. And I could not cut that one. I just got destroyed in one turn and wasn't much I could do about it. Lanny Winter is quite brutal.
Lanny Winter, you say, as he goes on to Friends DB.
There's plenty of them on there.
Yeah, done. I think the first one that got quite a bit of notice was the one from Varberg.
Oh yes, I remember seeing that now. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting deck actually.
So where did that leave your personal score for the day, Joe?
Oh, that left me a nice 1 and 3.
Okay, cool.
I always played very tough games though. I gave you all the easy ones. I took all of the tough guys. I think I took all but one team captain. I did my job as a team captain.
I would say that none of the teams you played against sound like they had many, Jags in. They all seem to have pretty good players.
Yeah, we played very tough games.
The only team that I didn't know at least 2 of the people as decent players in was Josh Chambers' team, because I didn't know the 2 guys who were with him was basically it. And they got the wooden spoon, so maybe Josh shouldn't have held them back so much. But James finished personal score. James, before I do my round 4, James won this round and went 3-1 as a result for his personal score on the day, which was pretty good. Pretty good. What you'd expect from a regional winner. So it was, I'd say it's all down to me. It's not because Joe lost, but and I was against Targ Winter, which, like I said, should be a pretty good matchup for that deck. I don't know if Ryan also thinks so, but it should be decent, and it was decent. I had Cat out, I had Winterfell out, I had 5 strength plus characters before the Winterfell bonuses. So it's all doing pretty well. Oh no, I didn't have Winterfell, sorry. I keep thinking I had Winterfell. I had Winterfell Castle, which is as good as, if not better than Winterfell, because all my guys get +2 in their challenges. So it's doing pretty decent. I was probably quite a way ahead. And he dropped a Blood of the Dragon turn. I've not seen Targ Winter before anyway, because everyone plays with the summer things. And I've not seen anyone play Blood the Dragon for quite a long time. But that killed off my Bran, which was sat in play, making me not care about her much. So then when we went to... We ended up in Challenges phase that turn, and I can't remember the exact sequence of events, but it was along the lines... it was a 2-claim... it was a 1-claim turn, because it's Blood the Dragon. But he nightmares my Winterfell Castle, so I couldn't get bonus strength in challenges. He nightmares Catelyn, so I couldn't stop him doing Dracarys. He Dracarys'd someone, and then applied military claim to someone else. And my board was a little weak because he killed, like my claim soak was going to be the Winterfell Steward I had, and also Bran had been killed off, so I only really had decent characters. So I ended up losing like 4 characters that turn, which was a pretty big blowout. And I think the next turn was I think he dropped Famine there, so he had 2 claim, and I could only play out 1 guy. So he came at me with military when I had 2 guys out. And basically one of them was Jury. I thought, yeah, cool. Choose them both for death. Jury sacrifice, save the other one. But he nightmares Jury, and my board got wiped, and everything fell apart. And then I drew Winterfell the next turn.
Typical.
Yes, it was. I had all the counters, everything that deck has as a counter to Targaryen. Basically, I saw, and he just drew nightmares.
Do you remember though that he was playing Targ Winter?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have been able to stop everything anyway.
Oh, that's true. Winterfell would have been useless.
Yeah. So I don't feel too bad.
The +1 strength might have been useful, but I don't think it would have been. Maybe it would have.
But so you guys didn't quite make the knockouts, the playoffs, so to speak.
I
But-
personally won in both the rounds we won and lost in both the rounds we lost.
So it's all on your head, basically, Darren.
Well, I mean, I was the team average. James did better, and Joe just let us down.
But right, guys. Really sorry here. It's just me and Joe now. My internet completely died on us halfway through the kind of rounding up at the end, so we're just kind of going to round up as it was. I had no internet for an hour. The problem with doing podcasts over the internet is you kind of need the internet. So yeah, Joe. Obviously, I can't remember we talked about who won. So what was the top four in the end?
So, top 4 teams. I can't remember all of their names. It was, I think it was 3 London teams and the banter team.
Okay.
So, yeah, I can't remember which team was which, but the winners of the event were banter. And originally I was going to offer the winners to come onto the podcast, but that don't really work.
No.
So, yeah.
Well, they could, but then they wouldn't have a podcast this week.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so yeah, the banter behind the throne guys won, minus Craven. It was Bamford, Wedge, and Peel.
Yeah, pretty good team.
Yeah, that was a very solid team. I think they did. I'm not sure what their overall score was. Yeah. There was also like individual roundups, and some people did really well. I believe Rebecca came second, which was really good.
So if you won all 4 of your games, you could potentially win an individual prize.
Yeah, so there was individual standing as well for the end of the Swiss. So it was basically you having your own sort of mini Swiss tournament, which didn't really affect anything.
So that's cool, but at the same time, you end up on if you end up on a really bad team and you're the only player, and you get 4 easy games. But okay, I know, that sounds cool. The prize support was pretty cool as well, from what I saw on Facebook.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of it. It's sort of you've got varying amounts. So it was you all got house cards for attending, a key ring of your team, and a badge. And then top 8 got copies of Nightmares or Your Art Nightmares. I think top 4 got copies of Needle. Then
Put to the needle.
Put to the needle, yeah. Then winner. Top 3 got the medals, and first place got what was it? The playmats.
The playmats,
nice.
Yeah, the playmats look really nice from what I saw.
Yeah, and trophies as well for first place.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the prize support was pretty good. You got there were some spot prizes on the day, and if you did well in the individual stand-ins, you got some extras as well. So I think got quite a few copies.
So overall, would you recommend the event next for anyone thinking about it going next year? If it's on next year, I assume it is.
I'm pretty sure it'll be on next year because the X-Wing side of it's huge. But yeah, it was a very well run event. I imagine it will be on again. The hardest part of it is just finding the team, really. But if you have a good meta group, if you're in London, you're pretty much safe.
Yeah, well, yeah. I saw the photo on their Facebook page. They had like 6 teams in the end, or something stupid like
that. Yeah, I think they had 4 teams.
40, okay.
Yeah.
All done up with similar shirts, just with different colours, which look really cool. So I'm definitely wanted to go next year. Hopefully we can get Ryan in and have a Southron Bannermen team.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. It was a good event.
Oh, cool. So, anything else to add before we kind of round up the episode?
No. I guess thanks for Darren for coming on for when he was here.
So the next podcast we've got coming up is probably next week. We're doing like a pre-Worlds one, is it?
Yeah, we'll be having a podcast just before Ryan disappears off to Worlds, and you'll get jealous that he's in America and we're not.
Yeah.
Then, I think the next 2 episodes are basically, hopefully a pack doesn't come out because we've got pre-Worlds and pre-Stalek.
Yeah, I've got a horrible feeling a pack is going to come out, and there's a whole Lanny box which today on YouTube the Italians had and were reviewing.
Yeah, we'll see when it appears, but hopefully not too soon.
I think they normally get about a week before we do, which is really worrying because there's absolutely no report of it. But yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think it's going to appear anytime soon. I think it's just in early.
There's sort of hope so, because well, I don't know. I'm not, as you say, I'm not really prepared to do about it yet.
Yeah, I want to wait a bit longer until all that stuff comes out.
Cool. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much for listening. Sorry it's a bit disjointed with the cuts we had because of various technical issues. Did you do the intro, Joe?
I did the intro, yeah. So, yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode. It's been emotional.
It's becoming a thing.